I don't want to watch. Hey, so do you guys remember like about a week ago when I said Jason Bourne, I was making it sound like maybe it was the worst movie of the year, but it really wasn't. It was just very subpar and very disappointing, right? Well, you know what is the worst movie I've seen this year? Suicide Squad. Now this is, like most DC movies, a very divisive one. And the reason most DC movies, at least in this new slate, are divisive is because they're not that good. Suicide Squad, the newest DC release, which had incredible trailers just like all the other DC movies, is by far and away the worst. Oh, I hated this movie. I mean, I hate it. Now, since this is a divisive movie, I need to approach this review with respect, and that I will do. Let's talk about the things I liked in this movie. Number one, Will Smith. Will Smith as Deadshot was literally, he was so cool. He was so freaking cool. He was funny, charismatic, he got along with the other characters, and he was probably the most human character in this movie. You really cared about him. He actually had a backstory, and it was very interesting. Loved Will Smith. He was great. Harley Quinn. For the most part, she was exactly the way Harley Quinn needed to be. Really freaking psycho, but kind of funny. Occasionally, though, I got annoyed, and it was really because of bad writing, I think. Sometimes she was a little over the top in her acting, and that would also be bad directing, which is also sad, because I really didn't think this was going to be poorly directed, because it's David Ayer. I was wrong. But overall, I loved Harley Quinn. Overall, loved her. Margot Robbie. And Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang was really, really, really funny. Loved him. He was fun. He was entertaining. And he was just an interesting character that I want to know more about. And, you know, overall, I really enjoyed the rest of the squad. The chemistry was great between the characters. I really liked the characters. And I hope that, you know, they give the Suicide Squad some kind of sequel where they use these characters again, because I really like these characters. Also, the first 30 minutes of this movie was really entertaining. It was very forced exposition, but it was basically listing all of the origin stories for the characters. Deadshot's was particularly very cool to see, and Harley Quinn's as well, but it was very forced, but it was at least entertaining, right? It was at least, you know, interesting. And well, guys, that's it for compliments for Suicide Squad. The rest of this review is going to be very angry. That was not a good impression of Jared Leto's Joker. But I don't care, because I did not like Jared Leto's Joker. Now look, I know a lot of people online have really liked Jared Leto's Joker, and that's cool, that's great. I didn't, okay? People are like, he's doing something new, very interesting. And I'm fine with doing something new and interesting, just don't have him do this. Oh, you sweet-talking me, huh? Really? Okay. You see Harley over there? Harley. She's my cutty. Now look, I won't say that Jared Leto was terrible in this, because I actually am very optimistic about Jared Leto in another movie. I think if he appears in Ben Affleck's The Batman, he's going to be a lot more toned down. There was actually one scene in this movie where I thought Jared Leto was legitimately intimidating, because he was actually acting a little bit normal. And you need that for the Joker, because if you remember Heath Ledger's Joker, the reason it was so great was because he acted there was just enough humanity in him. He was just enough. I mean, certainly wasn't normal, he was certainly crazy. But he was just enough. There was just enough where you could see that there was some kind of dude there, a real person who was just messed up. And this, all Jared Leto was very theatrical, and he got very annoying. Didn't like it. But Ben Affleck, if he directs him, I bet he's going to be like the one scene in this where he's kind of scary, because he acts like, you know, a scary dude instead of a... But of course, the worst part of Suicide Squad is that, you know, the story is complete crap. Like, complete crap. After the first 30 minutes, something suddenly happens, and for the next hour and a half, these characters, who you like, no doubt, go running around the city, aimlessly, killing things that you don't care about, nor are interested in. And, I mean, the villain, by the end of this movie, the finale, which was supposed to be, you know, the most exciting part, because, you know, it's the finale, I was literally covering my face because how stupid it was. The dialogue got so cheesy and so unbelievable. I just, like, you can't write this and not laugh at yourself. Now, admittedly, there were some good action scenes in there, particularly one with Deadshot. And also the bar scene you see in the trailer, even though it wasn't an action scene, was it was a good scene overall, even though I have qualms with it. Like everything in this movie, I have qualms with it. Now here's my summation of my thoughts on Suicide Squad in comparison to other DC movies, okay? Dark Knight trilogy, obviously it's not a part of this universe, one of the greatest trilogies of all time. Man of Steel, did not like, but there were elements that were good in it, and there were elements that were also terrible in it, but at least it had a coherent story, and, you know, it was okay. It's kind of bad. Batman vs. Superman had some incredible elements to it, especially with Batman, that was just like some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen in a comic book movie, and it also had some really bad elements, primarily with Jesse Eisenberg in the story. Suicide Squad, on the other hand, contrary to Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman, had only one good element to it: the chemistry between the characters. And the rest of it was one big pile of crap. That is my humble opinion. I didn't wait for the after-credits scene because I just didn't care. Now what does this mean for the future of the DC Cinematic Universe? To me it means that I will never watch one of their trailers and get excited for it again. Because the trailers for Suicide Squad were amazing. The trailers for B vs. S, for the most part, were amazing as well. And Man of Steel, the same thing. And guess what? Out of those 3 movies, how many of them were good? 0. 2 were subpar, 1 was utter trash. Why can't DC make good movies? Why? They have the coolest characters, and yet they can't make a single solid film. At this point, the only DC Cinematic Universe movie that I am looking forward to is Ben Affleck's The Batman, because Ben Affleck is one of the greatest directors in Hollywood today, and I think that the studios will actually let him do what he wants to do with it. Because the story of this movie is so unlike what you would think David Ayer to direct that I can't help but think that the studios forced him to do it. DC, if you're listening, which I know you aren't, let your creators create and get the hell out of their way. Because clearly, since the Dark Knight trilogy ended, you have no idea what you're doing. Suicide Squad gets a D. So, have you seen Suicide Squad? If so, comment below and let me know what you think about it. And if you like this video, please like it and subscribe, tell your friends about it. Also, I've not forgotten about my subscribers who are into reading. I will have more book reviews coming. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten you. But anyways, have a great day, watch some other movie. I'm planning on seeing Captain Fantastic because I hear it's fantastic. And have an incredible quality day.